I have so many questions, Zath.
Awesome.
All right,
Well,
well,
let's answer those questions.
let's see how we do, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I am on the wrong side of the map. There we go. I gotta get my camera pointed the right way. I'm just swanning all over the place. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's round 4 here of the qualification Swiss rounds for King of the Sea international play. We're looking to qualify 16 teams for next weekend's bracket. 4 are there. The point of today is to find the other 12. Both these teams are 2-1. They need that elusive third match win to move on to next weekend. Let's take a look here as we spawn into Faroe Islands. ARIS, the Asia number 4 seed, bringing a triple destroyer lineup to the dance. We've got Killers Smallland here. Very typical build. There's a ship we haven't seen in King of the Sea in a while, now that I think about it. Ice-T's Delny. I just love this guy's name. He's already my favorite player. Sora in a Summers. We have 4 cruiser lineup. Lala's Petropavlovsk, gun reload, and top grade gunner. You choose Minotaur. That was probably a Manitar. Yes, it is. RBQ's Napoli. He has top grade gunner and outnumbered. And then our last cruiser, Shikishima's Salem, headed up to the north, backing up the small. And it's a double battleship lineup here for ARIS. BYF's Sibir. A lot of survivability and some secondary power. And they've gone a Willem de Eerst. That's Prey Q here, looking like he's going to hang near mid. We'll talk more about Willem in a minute. Talk to me quickly about the TWA lineup, Zath.
Yeah, leaving me all the time. Let's go take a look at TWA. We've got forward into Don's Gdansk, making his way over to the B cap with your typical utility build. Behind him is IKEA in his unique upgrade Moskva, and El Snackman in the Bungo. Nothing too special with his build. Heading hard, I kind of, someone predicted a hard push going on this side, Raptor. We've got Viles. We got Vile in the typical KOTS build gearing, the unique upgrade. Kinimod in his Manitar. Special Captain, all the utility. Angelstone and Aloria. I gotta feel like they were watching some of the games on this particular map with Aloria and said, you know what? I like that. I want. And then Keistis behind him in the Utrecht with the Special Captain as well. And then heading over to the A side are 2 ships, Marcelo Pello's Napoli and Kiko's Petropavlovsk with reload instead of unique upgrade.
Angelstone at Ruggiero Deloria was not on my bingo card, but after the way he got bullied yesterday on Sleeping Giant in his bungo, I'm kind of not surprised.
Yeah, that was kind of my reaction too when I saw him in that boat. So, Willem de Rest, what are you so excited about with this boat?
Not about excited, it's more curiosity. I be honest, Seth, I know very little of it or what advantages it would bring to King of the Sea that would lend you to taking that over a slightly more traditional battleship.
So she's the tier 9 Duncan. And then on top of that, she gets the Dutch airstrike as well.
Oh.
Now you understand immediately why it's useful.
Well, no, I mean, yeah. Ruggiero Deloria, I mean, obviously the SAP there, Vile mercilessly using his spotting advantage to keep this Delny lit. Ice-T taking some early damage here. One of the things that stood out to me about Vile's build, and I think it's a nod to the map they're on, he has Brisk in his Destroyer build. Not a common pick for a gearing build, right? Gearing aren't, you're going to get speed boost, but TWA realizing or deciding they wanted that extra speed. Utrecht's going to take a torpedo here. That's Keistis.
Yeah.
Feels, and it pays off because he's able to get down there and allow for some early chip damage.
So we see.
Oh no! Check out Kinney caught out here.
In the Minotaur. So Swift and Silence as 2 ARIS players take torpedoes at the same time. Oof.
Yep.
Why did the Minotaur not have Hydro on? Anyway,
getting absolutely wrecked here.
Yeah. Hey, he's dark. He'll be fine.
He is now.
So Swift and Silence for gearing is a very popular pick in high-tier competitive because, as you said, it gets the target quickly. Vile's gearing, it doesn't matter what the main battery reload is, right? He's already taking a hit to main battery reload just because he's taking the unique upgrade.
He's taking the unique upgrade.
at that point, you build in for the speed, get to your target as quickly as possible, vomit out the torpedoes earlier. It used to catch a lot of teams by surprise, but now teams are starting to sort it out.
Yeah. Well, you don't take gearing, you don't take unique upgrade gearing for the gunpowder, right?
Exactly.
You generally don't take King of the Sea at all for the gunpowder. You take it for the torpedoes and you take it for the long duration smoke.
Correct.
Now, TWA has, I think, sussed out that the overwhelming majority of ARIS's firepower is over here on the right-hand edge of the map, and so they shove the Gdansk into mid for what amounts to basically a free cap. They don't have to work for it, so they can start turning this southern flank into a probable kiting flank while they rearrange a bit. They do surrender the northern cap, but when you look at their ship configurations and up there, that was always the plan. The Napoli Petro in that position are sent to keep ships from pushing through, basically.
Right. Yep. And so go back to what we had talked about at the start of this, right? That the idea being we'll see TWA pushing hard on the side, but since they're the south spawn, traditionally it doesn't work so well.
Yeah. Well, and they're definitely struggling with it here.
Yeah, Vile caught out now on radar.
Yep, Val's radar doing a great job of wiggling his stern here and dodging the majority of that damage. He's not taking 0 damage, but he certainly isn't taking as much damage as ARIS wishes that he were.
Yeah, got those Napoli secondaries. Yep, but he is also running out of radar, so he's okay.
Yep, radar finally expiring here. Angelstone now the pick target. Lots of pain coming in on him. I'm a little surprised that we're not seeing TWA reorganize to kind of counteract some of this push, but they don't seem interested. They've moved Snackman's Bungo up to mid, looking for shots to the south, and they've rotated IKEA's Moskva to point north, like maybe they're going to make a push up there.
Mod once again detected. He's currently trying to go through his super heal. I think he's trying to get the target focus on him.
Yeah.
And then he's going to do the Minotaur trick.
Somebody just slapped the Summers, and Vile's now like, well, gunpowder or no, they're going to lose Vile right here.
Yeah, that was Angelstone's Loria hitting the Summers.
They're trying to make sure they pick up this kill on the Summers. They've got to get these points while this Summers is lit, because they're going to lose their radar down here in a minute. There we go. There's the Loria salvo that ought to finish the deal.
Yep.
It does.
Yep. Now, Mod on the border here with the Minotaur actually can slide without the negative effect of being on the border. So I'm surprised that he just, because British cruisers, but I'm surprised he didn't kind of wiggle as much as he could have. But Angelstone's Loria kind of blocking him a little bit, I suppose. So that whole push is fizzled.
Yeah, what I'm surprised about is, like, once you see this 6-on-4 push coming, they opted not to reinforce it. They opted to rotate and seemingly push the other direction. Yeah. That's what I think has got me surprised a little bit.
It's not a retreat, it's an advance in the opposite direction.
Oh, it's 100% a retreat, but it's a calculated one, right?
Sure.
Now, one of the things about Ruggero dell'Oria, right, being an Italian battleship, you're used to Italian battleships having access to the smoke generator, the crawling smoke, not crawling, what do they call it? Exhaust smoke generator.
I call it the deep water smoke.
Yeah, basically. But Loria does not get that.
Correct.
So that does impact her survivability, less ability to escape here. And we can see, upside down on ships and upside down on health is a team. TWA has coughed up a bunch of HP into what is now essentially a 5-on-2.
That's correct. That's correct. So now up to the north, I think TWA's realized they have to find a way into the game that's not going to be the south anymore. So you can see them starting to put all their S's together. Smallland was just detected and shot at for quite a bit, but he has managed to hold his boat. It's just a question of, all right, who wants to go out in front of the Sabir? You know what I mean? Like,
Marcelo
straws,
angling
guys.
for Yep, Marcelo angles to the extreme corner of the map, gets a decent AP salvo in there on the Salem. Not as big as he was hoping for, but he did get at least one Citadel out of it. TWA trailing here about 120 points. 10 minutes to play. Game's only half over. But they're going to lose Angel Stone here in a minute. He's completely out of map. This is one of the perils of these goofy diagonal maps, right? Because, well, especially the way Pharaoh is designed, you have big corners of the map that you don't have access to because of the way these islands are run. So literally, you lose a huge chunk of your available space to run in. Angelstone does get to a heal. That's going to force them. It's going to buy him some time. He will eventually die, but it's going to cause them to continue focusing him more than they would prefer to, I'm sure.
Yeah. But you're absolutely right. The way the map is rotated and the landmass, it just... Teams are much tighter than they thought they'd be. It feels like you've got all the space, and you really don't.
You really don't. No, you really don't. For a map that's 48 kilometers by 48 kilometers, it does not play like a large map. It plays a bit like a cage match. So they do lose Angel Stone now, as the Sabir, that's BOIF, is getting pushed from two directions. Snackman off his starboard, IKEA from his stern. The full court press is on up at A. TWA finally having all their pieces in position and saying, go get them, boys.
I like Snackman going through the middle there like that.
Yep, he just crossed mid. Like, what are you going to do about it? I think TWA has decided oh, Snackman just takes a big hit there.
Yeah, he did.
If they can get these, they can clean up these guys to the north and pick up these kills, then suddenly the game won't look as lopsided as it currently does. And they do pick up the Sabir right there.
That's right, they do.
The enemy is about to win.
Still a 120-point game as ARIS flips the C cap. TWA
Smallman
making good progress onto the A cap. He is indeed.
L007 Killer goes down here. That's going to be a very important pick for TWA.
They desperately need this kill. He's pushing through a heal, but the Petro bags him. Just like that, TWA down only one ship, but they lose the Bungo.
They lose the Bungo in the process, though. So they are going to secure the A cap.
But now with no battleships on the board, and Shikishima's Salem essentially playing a holding action here. I mean, he's 100% going to die. It's just a question of when and how.
Well, and the problem is Marcelo Pell is the only one in the cap now. So he's kind of has to stop. Yeah. He wants to get on the Salem side to just blast him. He can't do it. He's got to sit here, and he's going to get reset the whole time.
Yeah, and there's no way that Shiki's going out there, right?
I'm really confused by this decision making, but okay.
I think for me the surprising thing, I guess they didn't like the opportunity. They didn't think they could slow down or subvert this push to the south, so they just said to heck with it, let's push north. But I mean, that feels a little bit like abandoning assets. Like the team to the south with the Moskva and the Bungo, could they have slowed this push down? Maybe they could have. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm not the guy calling the match. But if you leave those guys alone, they're 100% going to die. But if you reinforce them, you might be able to slow this down or turn the whole thing around. But that's not the choice that TWA made here on Faroe Islands. Yeah, they had to turn Sakiko's Petro around to go finish the Shikishima off.
Exactly. So they've lost a lot of time here trying to make this happen.
Yep, we're over 900 points now. The Shiki coming out here, the Salem, trying to get broadside shots on IKEA's Moskva while he can before he goes off the board. He gets one salvo in, doesn't get much out of it, but there he goes. So it's a 100-ish point game. And TWA down to their last 5 ships. The Utrecht well out of position here, not really able to impact very much. So it's really on these 4 ships in and around the A cap to try and make this happen, and it's going to be an extreme challenge here. $80 seconds on the timer. ARIS back up over 900 points. A single kill there will put TWA basically in check, to use a chess term. They'll be staring down the barrel of a quick loss if they can't manage it. RBQ on his last heal, the Utrecht trying to get in there. Somebody does get a good airstrike on, and that is the Utrecht. They're trying to get that kill.
Yeah, TWA knows how important that is, but they also know how important is that Heistus has to survive.
Yep. RBYQ on, he's burning his last heal is just about done. He's 30 seconds from his next damage control. But they can't lose Keistis here. Keistis is dark finally. Coming up on his second to last heal, down to 3,600 HP.
Oh, they get him. They get him.
The Willem guesses right, gets him, and that is the ball game. That's exactly what can happen. Once you get over 900 points, you take those kinds of shots, hoping that it'll happen, and it does for ARIS here in Game 1.
This is the second time that TWA has lost at the beginning to an Asia team. This is interesting.
Yep. Indeed. Was it Asia number? Well, it was Asia number 1.
It was Asia number 1 yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. All right. Well, Game 1 in the books. Update all the overlays here. There we go. I just realized. Yeah, no, I had the overlay correct. There we go.
All right.
Sorry, it took me a minute. I had a moment of panic. All right, well, we'll come back to the studio for a minute while the teams get set up for Game 2. So, kind of like you called it, Zath, right? The northern spawn on Pharaoh, for whatever reason, seems to lend itself more to those kinds of hook pushes through the southeast corner of the map. Now, ARIS did themselves some favors by pushing 6 ships through there as well. They completely ignored the B cap. They didn't even make a play for it. They just said, this is what we're doing. We're going all in.
Right. And you know what? It worked for one of the teams. It didn't for the other. So, is what it is. Oh, wait. Go ahead.
What?
No, I just realized because the spawn reversed, I had the alpha team winning in map 1 instead of the Bravo, but I caught it.
Ah, okay.
It's fine. Easy peasy.
I'm still surprised to see TWA not reinforcing that southern flank, right? Like in general, once you see where the opponent is pushing and you're going to be outnumbered, you redeploy assets to that direction to give your team a better chance to resist kind of, what's coming your way. And for whatever reason, that's not the decision that they made. Right. I'd be really curious to ask them what the thought process, though. Not that I necessarily disagree with it. It's just not what you typically see.
Yeah, this is very interesting. So, TWA in the position to be 2-0'd a second time here. And then have one final chance to make it in.
Could be. We'll have to see.
That's just think about this. Let that set in for a sec, everybody. Wow.
One of the things that I like, Zath, is we've now seen EU's top team play 3 different games versus Asia teams, and they've lost at this point. They've lost all 3, and they've been good games. But do you remember way back when international play began? Right, there was a lot of talk and a lot of comment back when the Russia server was around, right, and the RU server came into the existing kind of international events that the North Americans and the Europeans have been playing. When the North Americans and the Europeans first met, the EU kind of low, how would I say it, passive, wait around, board control kind of strategy won that battle more regularly. And so the North Americans kind of started adapting to how the Europeans kind of played competitive boats. But when the Russians came in, it was like the Kool-Aid man blasting through the brick wall.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because the Russian teams were almost unbridled, unchecked, unrestrained aggression. Just, I'm going to drive in your face. We're going to brawl. I'm going to murder you at point blank range. And there was a lot of culture clash initially, right? Some of the European teams had been used to this very passive board control, chess style of play. And suddenly this guy's in your face and you don't know how to deal with it. I don't think that TWA doesn't know how to deal with this, but that culture clash, these matches have felt like that to me. Do you
Well,
agree, disagree? Am I crazy?
yes, absolutely. And a lot of the Asia teams we saw when they kind of burst onto the scene with, remember when VOR figured out like the whole Kleber, gang squad just
Oh
running
yeah,
around,
the
right?
wolf. Yeah, the Kleber, the French destroyer wolf packs, basically.
Yes. So, we did see a lot of the Asia teams that come in, and they traditionally like to do a lot of min-max, and they like to do a lot of real hard, aggressive push, because for
Very
them,
innovative.
if they can make it work for them and get the opposite team on the back foot, they take the initiative, then they can run with it the whole game. If they get the initial position and or kills that they want, that they plan for, which they kind of were able to do in this game with TWA, right? Kinemon, as you kept mentioning, was pushed back so hard right at the start. He couldn't really do much, right? And then Vile going down, that whole flank just collapses. And now it's just, all right, guys, full retreat. Okay?
Yeah.
So you don't give the opportunity for the opponent to react.
I was a little surprised to see them kind of give up Vile, for lack of a better way to put it. That's not what happened. He turned around to try to make sure to secure the kill on the Summers, and then I'm sure he intended to dive back into the smoke or use it to break contact or whatever. But without that smoke, without his smoke to help cover their retreat, once he's down, all of those ships are free game. They got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, no smoke to block line of sight, nothing. When you're trying to resist that push coming in, Vile is arguably, with that American smoke, is arguably the most important piece of, okay, I need to figure out how to extract as many resources from this position as I can. The smoke is an essential part of doing that. And him getting involved in that gunfight with the Summers, they did get the kill, but it cost him his ship.
Right. So, while we've been talking about this, I've been keeping an eye on the training room. ARIS is down one player right now. Everybody for TWA is there, but not everybody is readied up. There's the last player for ARIS. So
They'll figure it out.
Yeah. Well, we were going to bring that up is because that means, we're probably getting the game 2 pretty soon here.
Yeah.
Just catching up on chat. Chat is just as much in awe, I think, Raptors, as we've been. Just watching all this stuff unfold in front of us. Like, hey, kind of almost reminds me of the old days of 07 in King of the Sea and all the tournaments, right? And then, like, they had a couple of disastrous, unfortunate seasons, and then everything just kind of fell apart for them.
If you were fans of 07 back in their heyday here on the NA server, right? The old Devastating Strike guys, they love to give their viewers ulcers. They were the masters of the reverse sweep. Like,
that's
they
right.
would come into a match and they'd be like, oh, these guys have probably got this. Like, they might drop a game, but they should win this. And then the next thing you know, they're down 0-2, and everybody in chat is losing their minds. What is happening? And then they would rattle off 3 straight wins, and everybody's like, as the prophecy foretold. I'm like, did we just watch the same match? I don't think we just watched the same match at all.
I mean, there's that.
Go ahead.
I just remember that I think it was the one time that they brought all Woosters or something, and we're all just what are these guys doing? But then they
did
wrecked everyone.
They did the occasional meme comp as well, and they were some of the original guys way back in the day when carriers were still in King of the Sea. This is only more like way old school, right? To experiment with Wushta in their team lineups, because they were essentially like no fly zones for a carrier. They were crazy. I mean, they still are pretty good in terms of AA, but back then you couldn't touch one.
That's right.
So yeah, it's totally a thing, right? But yeah, we always hope for game 3, Zath. We always hope for game 3. And
we do.
I'm pulling for TWA here. A finals international bracket without TWA in it would be bizarre, to say the least, in King of the Sea.
Yeah. Yep.
They're fixtures. They've been around so long.
Both teams have readied up. ARIS said that they're ready. Chinese official is ready. So as soon as TWA says we're ready, they're probably going to go send it.
Yep, should be underway here in just a moment. Regular spawn for the overlay.
Cool, cool. TWA still hasn't responded yet. What is the forfeit time here? 31. So they have 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. You better believe that they are getting their strategy down set before they go.
They're in the locker room. They're in the locker room doing their.
I was thinking of the Budweiser commercial, the losing locker room reporter. You know, like.
I'll have to go look that one up. I don't think I know that one.
I think it's what was it? Real American Heroes or Real Men of Genius?
Yeah, Mr. Real Men of Genius.
Right. Still losing locker room reporter.
Losing locker room reporter.
It's great. Just 'cause some millionaire dropped a ball.
I remember Zoop's old warships, warship genius videos. Those were always good.
Yeah,
those were always good.
You know what else is good is this game. Let's go take a look, huh?
I guess. I mean, we could sit here and talk for a while, but they're not here to see us, are they?
No, they are definitely not.
All right, Zath, it's game 2 of this best-of-3 series. TWA needs a win. They're spawning in green here on North. Talk me through their lineup.
Yeah, so let's take a look. So we've got Vile now and Havarask. Interesting, okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Forward into Dawn is in a Cassard. And all of the cruisers, I think TWA is like, you know what? We really just need firepower here. So going with Sakiko's Petropavlovsk with reload. We've got Kinimod in his Manitar again. We've got Akia in the Mosby unique upgrade again. Kaistis in a Napoli. And then we've got Point in the Petropavlovsk also with reload. Behind them is Elsnackman's Libertad and Angelstone's Bungo. And I gotta say, seeing a Libertad after yesterday, talking about the curse of the Libertad.
I know.
Yeah.
For those of you that might not have been tuned in yesterday, no team that we saw yesterday that fielded a Libertad won a game with it. So I'm really curious to see how TWA fields this ship and what value they get out of it. In red to the south, ARIS also bringing a 2-destroyer lineup to the dance. Let's start over here on the western flank. This is Yuchu's Smoland. Nothing particularly shocking in that build. Engine boost and gun reload there. Yusugami's Napoli going for a secondary build with outnumbered. The outnumbered is going to get him do him well as he heads off to the B flank and where he will likely be outnumbered. The rest of ARIS staying to the eastern half of the map, kind of as you would expect here on North. Lots of cap circles over there. Ice-T's Delny, speed boosting, making quick revolutions, trying to beat Ford and the Dawn's Cassard to E. That's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Behind him, Care's Napoli. Full secondary build to go with top grade gunner. Shikishima's Petropavlovsk, that's not confusing at all. Also going top grade gunner and gun reload. BYF's Sabir, full secondary build, sort of as you would expect, trying to maximize his damage control. PVO from RBQ here, doing PVO things, and 2 ships hanging near mid right now. That's PreQ's Sabir, looking like he's trying to make sure this channel along the 6 line stays closed, backed up by Lala's Petropavlovsk with a very similar build to the other Petro in the lineup.
So, you got one team that takes the Libertad, which has a bit of a curse behind it so far in this tournament. The other one takes 2 Sibirs, which also has a curse behind it so far in this tournament. So
it does. It does a little bit, but we've actually seen teams win with Sabir. We've never seen a team win with a Libertad. Not yet.
True.
Ice-T briefly detected there in the E-cap, knows the Cassard is nearby, can see the cap flipping, knows he's in there. So he's going to be hard contested for a while. Files Haba wins the race over to the west as Yuchu Small and just now beginning to step onto the cap over here. So basically, each team broken up into 3 elements. We've got a 5-ship element for ARIS, these 2 in mid and 2 over here on the western flank. They're opposite numbers. A 3-ship element here for TWA, 2 in mid, and at the moment, 4 over here on the west.
Yeah, very interesting initial positions here. Okay. Sorry, just had to do something off the stream for a moment. So getting back into it. I do like Kidney Mod's positioning in the Minotaur. I feel like TWA is going to put a good amount of forces over there. They're going to make it around the AB side.
Well, and a couple other things of note.
Yeah, go ahead.
What we've been seeing on North, the previous games of the tournament, you know, teams would push over here and it would be a big rumble in the ECAP. TWA making the early call, nah, screw it. Pull out, we are not hanging around here. This is not happening.
Yep. They don't want to get stuck like last game.
They don't. ARIS shoving Lala's Petro into D for the moment. No guns, no shells coming in. Looking like, oh, there we go. Snackman taking a salvo. We'll see if he can get it over the island. Can he get the reset? He does. He puts one through the bow. As the PVO airstrikes begin to come in on IKEA's Moskva, those two guys catching each other on Hydro.
While taking some damage now, he's opening up on the Napoli. Angel Stone's Bungo salvo coming in. Nope.
I'm a little surprised to see TWA surrender this cap without a fight. They didn't have the resources to fight for it, though, so it kind of makes sense. I mean, it was a 5-on-3. They were never going to be able to pull it off. So now they've essentially redeployed, they're kind of repositioning set to receive this push, right? You can see kind of this counterclockwise push coming from ARIS up the 9-10 line, and the Moskva here, this is IKEA, was already facing to that direction. They're now moving the Petro through mid as the Minotaur Napoli combo moving into B, pushing out the small into Napoli, and then the original 3-ship element that was over at A, kind of working the northern side of the map, keeping ARIS honest.
It's always difficult as a team pushes through a flank. It's always difficult because the farther you push along that flank, the more side you're going to give. If you push straight up the flank, like you can see ARIS' Napoli doing up the 10 line, well, he gives up a broadside possibly to, the Libertad. So he's got to be, very cautious. At the same time, you want to get your ships back into the game and go towards the center. So you have to kind of almost like parade formation, all wheel along at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Not very easy to do. And that's why I always say when you're kiting away, say in ranked or something like that, you typically are going to kite to the corner because it forces the enemy team to spend way too much time on you. And meanwhile, forward into Dawn's in a perfect position to just keep vomiting torpedoes in its Cassard and just going fishing,
ARIS now sandwiching IKEA. They're going to have a Petro in front of him. They're bringing Prey Q's Sabir up the 6-line channel. He's in a bit of a secondary duel with Snackman's Libertad. But IKEA under tremendous pressure here. Lala's Petro has reoriented. He's now pointed back the other way. Because this is now what begins as a north-south map is going to quickly devolve into an east-west map here, as I'm 100% positive TWA wants to retain control of their 3 caps. ARIS now going to have to find a way to try to break in from there too, off to the west. Sorry, off to the east.
Yeah. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here. We're going to take a look at IKEA going down just in front of these torpedoes. Prey Q at under half health already in his Sabir, putting on his wonderful heal.
Just has begun the crazy heal. He's still got plenty of time left on it. Trying to retreat back a bit and back off of some of that secondary damage the Libertad was shelling out. Angel Stone was set up for a really good Bungo salvo through the gap, right? This gap on this channel up the 6 line. The Bungo took a shot at him as he went through there, but it was mostly overpins through the bow. He overlet it or didn't judge the speed quite right. He didn't get much out of that salvo.
Yeah, I've been watching his positioning as TWA has said, okay, well, we've managed to push ARIS off the B cap. We can't over push into that because again, torpedoes, etc., etc. So Angel
Yep.
Stone instead being redeployed to blunt ARIS's push.
TWA up on caps, down on points, having lost their Moskva, but doing a good job with board control here. Keeping ARIS bottled up on the eastern half of the map for the moment. Cassard and Delny getting into it here a bit. That's Ice-T and forward onto Dawn. The Delny opens up. The Cassard doesn't, and Ice-T is going to pay a bit of a price for this.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He's got the heal going, so probably won't die, but here comes the Bungo Salvo. Good
Got something out of
damage.
it.
Yeah.
Yep. Angel Stone taking that shot. Didn't have his spotter plane up, so he wasn't getting the fancy improved dispersion that you would get from a typical Bungo Salvo.
Well,
Prey Q does take a Cassard torpedo there with more on the way.
Against a dodging destroyer, it's almost better to not put the plane up, right? You want that extra dispersion so you guarantee a hit as opposed to just all miss.
Yep. Prey Q taking a couple of Cassard torpedoes from forward onto Dawn. He's completely out of heal now, and his DCP 20 seconds away. He's got at least one flood ticket in there, and now a fire.
And take a look, TWA poised to win in 2 minutes because they control 3 caps to ARIS's 2.
Well, and they're going to speed this up quickly if they can bag this kill on Prey Q. Forward onto Dawn now bringing his guns to bear, putting some pressure here. Snackman still chucking AA into that gap. Good salvo on RBQ's PVO back there. That was Snackman, I have to believe. He should have had a shot there. Prey Q gets to his DCP at 3,800 HP. They can't lose forward onto Dawn here. He's going to have to go dark. Was more shells falling in.
Oh, they get him!
That's a big, big kill for ARIS.
Well, now look
at
at the
unforced error, I think, maybe.
Possibly. Look at the timing difference.
Yep.
TWA's got to pick up this kill in the severe. Can they do it?
Right now, they've got a fish for him in there. They do have him spotted. Trying to get a fire on the bow or some HE pens through there. They do get the fire. That's big. The fire's going to seal the deal. So there we go. That'll flip the timer back the other way.
Minute to go.
So just like that, TWA 60 seconds from a win here in game 2. Vile under some big pressure here, trying to get away from Yuchu's Smoland.
Yeah, they brought Yuchu back. They just told Napoli, you know what? Just go along the corner and,
just keep those guys out of the fight.
Essentially, right. With 43 seconds to go, Kenny now being detected, shots coming in from Petro. Nothing doing. But RBQ is going to keep trying. 30 seconds to go.
TWA in a good position here. ARIS is going to have to take some nasty risks to slow the points gain down. They're going to try it. Here comes Ice-T's Delny, coordinating with Lala's Petro in the C-cap. Going to try and push point out of the way. At a minimum, they're going to step onto the C-cap and buy themselves some time.
I like the decision of moving both at once, but yeah, that'll do it.
Big AP salvo coming in. They're going to get point, but is it going to come too late? 5 seconds on the timer. 3 seconds on the timer. They don't get it.
It's too late. It's too late.
It's too late. They waited
Game
just
3.
a hair too late. TWA walks away with their first win against an Asia team here in King of the Sea 18 International.
All right. Programming that fancy
like that
schmancy
just
thing.
gets the blood going. Woo! Love it.
Yeah, seriously. All right, everybody. I'm awake now. How about you?
Yeah, I know, right? Are you not entertained, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh, yeah.
The really entertaining part, Zach. The really entertaining part is now, guess where we're going?
Yeah, we're going back to Northern Waters.
The meme map. And man, it felt to me like TWA struggled so hard with this map yesterday. I have to wonder if they've made any changes to a lineup or a strat or something that they can get to work with, get get to work for them. I'll get it out in a minute.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pop my fancy add button too, just to get this out of the way. Go ahead. What were we gonna say?
I was gonna say I'm gonna pop over to the other training room real fast and let them know not to wait on us.
Oh, right, because we'd also scheduled ourselves on
Yep.
another. Okay,
So
which
I will
one
be
was?
right back. It's Pucky and 3XA, and I'm just gonna
Okay.
go let them know to start, and we'll join them for game 2. If you
Yeah.
can catch them in Discord.
That's what I'm looking for right now.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
They do it in threads, so I just have to find the right channel where the thread is located in.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll let them know not to wait on us.
Yep. Yep.
Taken care of, and I will come back now.
Really fun watching teams, the chat catching up to the game. It's one of the things that makes the 5-minute delay kind of nice. Is like we can have these moments, and then we can look back at it and be like, "Yeah, we just saw that." You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of fun. Now,
so I made my comment about good AA, and somebody in chat was like, you know, good AA, LOL, and I just told him Reddit isn't always correct.
Oh goodness. Now, as a reminder for people on both of our channels, we do have giveaways that are occurring. In addition to your King of the Sea drop, which by now you should be getting progress on, you might want to double check that. So on Raptor, you've got a Discord channel, correct? And then you've got your mods doing draws over there.
Yep, my giveaways all happen on my Discord server. I have a dedicated giveaways channel. All you have to do is join the server. There's a link that'll pop up in chat periodically, or you can type !Discord and the bot will spit that link out to you. When there's not a game on the screen, in other words, when we're sitting in a weight room like this in between games, usually 98% of the time there's a giveaway running in Discord. You just have to go to that channel. There'll be a pop-up. The bot will have said, please enter now. You click the little emoji to enter, and if you win, the bot will ping you to let you know, and then one of the mods will whisper you your winner's loot later on.
Absolutely, it makes sense. And then what I do is I have a giveaway just over on Twitch. Now, just like you, I do multi-stream, but I use a bot that, unfortunately for right now at least, can only work with Twitch. So for me, it's very simple. You just follow the channel, and then you just type something in chat. Easiest thing to do is just be active every 10-15 minutes. Just type the letter A and hit enter, put an emoji out, it doesn't matter. So both of us essentially trying to do the same thing, right? Allow you to focus on the game in front of you and not worry so much about am I entering for giveaways and stuff like that.
Our goal, and has been for years, is always when the game's on, you don't deal with the giveaways, you don't worry about ads. When there's not a game, we do all the other stuff, and we talk about all the other shenanigans that other reasons you might be here. But when the game's on, that's the focus.
That's right.
I got up to go turn the ceiling fan on in here, and I looked outside. Hey, guess what, Seth? The sun's coming up.
The big ball of fire is in the sky,
the giant ball of fire is slowly creeping up into the sky.
So
I should not have looked at my watch. That was a mistake.
at the start of the last game, I actually had to get up and change the thermostat and set it down a couple of degrees because it was starting to get warm in here.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, when I first wake up, I don't know about you, but for me, like if I don't get a lot of sleep, and especially if I wake up early in the morning, I'm just cold, and I don't want to crawl out of bed and all that. So, I turned it up a couple of degrees. Well, laptop going, all the other stuff going. Now it's warm, so I had to get up and turn a cooler, and I just didn't have a chance to do it up until now. And I was like, getting to the point where you're starting to sweat. I'm like, I don't want to do it.
My chat asked a good question. I don't remember the answer to, Zath. What does TWA stand for? Do you remember?
I gotta think about that. Now we can see that in our
I got it. It's on
Patrick.
the tournament website. It's called it's Total War Alliance. There we go. I'll let him know.
That's what I thought it was, but I think so much about like Total War, like the game series. So like I just, oh man. And then sometimes we see them play as TCA, which is the Total Clown Alliance.
I've never actually seen that. Oh, and chat just reminded me, Zath, is the Curse of Libertad over? They won a game with a Libertad.
That's true. That curse is indeed over. Wow.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe one game isn't enough to call it over, but it certainly breaks the streak, let's say. It absolutely breaks the streak.
So what Raptor is saying is that the curse really isn't over until the team actually wins the match, the best of 3 match. Libertad. Is that what you're trying to get at here?
Yeah, sure. That's what I meant. We'll go with that.
Yeah, meanwhile, I've been watching my chat where there's a bit of a debate going on about the name of one of the players for, I think it was for ARIS.
Okay.
Apparently their name including a slang word. But I got nothing on it. I'm sure the organizers would have picked up on it too.
I got nothing, baby. Okay. I'm surprised we didn't get pinged in Discord.
The other game?
We didn't get a ping there. For the B stage, but I see. Yeah, you went in there and let them know anyway. So we let them know in both places. Okay, perfect.
The Chinese official cast is readied up. Looks like both teams have 9 players. They're starting to prep. Chat's starting to come in with their percentages for their drop. I'm at 80% myself. So, yay! Get your stuff and things, everyone. Your free stuff and things.
Get all your free and stuff from Wargaming. Courtesy of Wargaming.
All right, we're just missing one player from each team readying up, so hopefully we'll be starting this soon at .tm.
And there they go. I think sometimes they do that until, like, they do a little internal check. Like you have like the team captain, who's just giving everybody the, you good. Okay, and then he readies. Like he's the brake on the operation.
Well, you don't want to run the risk of everybody hitting ready. They started, but wait, we didn't say we were ready. Now what?
Exactly right. You don't want that.
All right, so both teams have responded ready. We're bringing this game to you guys pretty soon.
Let's look around at maybe some other results real briefly. So we're in. Game just dropped, but
I was gonna say you might want to hold that thought for just a moment.
Yeah. We do have our first additional qualifier of the day. That's Oh Boy. They won their match this morning, so they are moving on to next weekend as well. That's the only one that I've got right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, Zath, you ready for this?
Yeah, we're using reverse spawns.
We are indeed. Take us in, my friend. Talk to me about Northern Waters.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on Northern Waters, the map that TWA lost yesterday when they faced off against, what was that, TTUY, I believe was the name?
YYUT, the Asian number 1 seed.
I got the letters right, just the wrong order.
You did. Wrong order, but that's okay. We got there.
We got there. It is what it is. So let's take a look at the north side here. ARIS looking to force TWA to try again elsewhere to make it into the next weekend's playoffs. We've got 2 Sibirs for battleships, followed by a Petropavlovsk range, another Petropavlovsk range, 1 outnumbered, 1 top grade gunner. We've got a Napoli, and finally we've got Usigomi's Utrecht For destroyers, we got a Cassard, a Delny, and finally, he choose now is in a Shimakaze instead of I think there was a small end he was in last game.
Yes, he was in a small and last
Yeah.
game.
All right, well, tell us about TWA, sir.
TWA seems to have fallen into the Sabir camp on this map as well, opting for their own pair. Silverblade here to the farther west, and Snackman here taking the inside track up the 3 line. Now, TWA not making the mistake they made yesterday on this map. They're sending their battleships some help. Kenny Mods, Petropavlovsk headed over here with unique upgrade, backed up by Kaistis' PVO and all of his airdrop shenanigans. One of the destroyers, that's Vile Yu Yang in his Yang headed towards mid. He's not going to have any support, so we'll see if he runs into this Kassar Delny pair in a minute. Excuse me. Forward on the Dawn's Gdansk, speed boosting over to D, grabbing that quickly. A trio of cruisers headed to that side of the map to help him out. That's IKEA's Petro, Sakiko's Petro, and Marcelo Pello's Napoli. TWA yesterday on this map took their 2 battleships and left them to die in the ACAP ZAF, not making that mistake again this morning.
No, definitely not. And they've been watching, I think they really analyzed what happened to them on this map. And Vile is there to prevent what ARIS is trying to do right now, which is to shove a boat through the channel. Now, Sora is detected on radar, and he's still going anyways. He's like, screw you. This is what I'm going to do. What are you going to do about it?
Yep. How do you plan to stop me? And actually, now that the radar is over, now he's turning.
I like
that.
that.
Head fake there out from ARIS. I love it too.
Yeah.
I love that little head fake game.
Something I love to do whenever I go, I leave detection, like in ranked battles, I change course. Catch him off guard all the time.
Yep. Both teams quickly grabbing, the far eastern cap and moving some cruiser assets into the middle of the board. Of course, up a cruiser is TWA opting for a 2 destroyer lineup versus the triple destroyer lineup that ARIS is fielding. You know, Zath, one thing that didn't dawn on me until this moment, for whatever reason, this goofy island over here, right, on the far left-hand side of the map, there's usually a big impact to the A cap on this map, which is normally adjacent to it, something like this. But now that island is actually in the bloody cap circle.
Yes. So that island becomes even more important than it was before. Yeah. Speaking of important, Vile in the middle now, trying to go into A with the Yu Yang in trouble.
What?
Yeah, look at that.
How do they have him lit?
Sorry.
Oh, the Xard's got him spotted.
Yeah.
Oh, no, and he's having... Oh, they're going to kill Vile right here, baby.
Yeah.
He's trying to play juke games with his engine.
He does
finally go dark.
Yeah, he went in and out of detection. I kind of feel like ARIS maybe trying to feather it a little bit too tightly, and that's going to allow Vile to get away.
Oh! But Kenny Mod steps up and punishes the Cassard for his insolence, and TWA up a ship here early.
I feel like if they would have just kept Sora in a little bit longer, it would have been a trade instead of just losing that boat. Oh, now it's up to ARIS to respond to this.
So now, if you look, TWA has moved a cruiser element all the way from their spawn point here, all on the 4-5 line, to the 10 line. I'm assuming they're going to swing north. They've brought the Gdansk back to B. He's backed up by a Petro. They're going to make a play for the middle of the map as well. ARIS still has 5 ships lurking around the A cap. Excuse me, 4 ships lurking around the A cap, but they don't control it anymore. They're gonna be up. They're already upside down on ships. They're gonna be upside down on cap control here momentarily, and TWA is gonna be firmly in control of this game until ARIS makes a play.
Yeah, Ice-T I think wants to back into A, but they know, I mean, Vile's Yu Yang outspots him. So what are they gonna get from that? You know.
Not only does he outspot him, he's still got Kenny Mod's radar right here. Although Kenny's under a tremendous amount of pressure, they've rotated BYF Sabir back here towards mid, because they know that Kenny is essentially by himself, and Petro burns very nicely.
Yes, it does. Now, this is also a unique upgrade, Petro, which means that Kenny loses one of each consumable. So that's one less heal, for example, one less radar and hydra.
Deepwater torpedo salvo from the Yang from Vile, trying to cut off BYF to make sure he doesn't get too cheeky. But I like Vile staggering these launches.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first one's going to miss in front of him, and I think the second one might actually miss astern of BYF because now he's put on the gas.
Right. So he probably knows that's what's coming. So he sees that first racket torps.
That's
he also
the salvo I was looking for.
Yeah.
Silverblade back up.
Oh!
62,000 points of damage in one salvo.
Jesus.
Silver ends that discussion, and Kenny is in good shape.
Yeah.
Well, I won't say he's in good shape, but he's alive.
He's still alive. Yeah. Wow.
Little severe on severe violence there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I think the Severe won.
Yeah. Zath, for the first time in this tournament, I feel like I'm looking at TWA.
It does feel like TWA's found their stride now.
Their mojo, like they got
Yeah.
their mojo back or something.
That's right. That's right. TWA's
It's
new
now
groove.
a 350-ish point lead for TWA, up 2 ships, up 3 caps to 1. 3 minutes on the timer here for ARIS to come up with something.
Right. Where are they going to go to get that something, though? That's the question.
That is a fascinating question. If you have any ideas, I would love to hear them because I mean, their last battleship, which is kind of the piece you might use to make that push,
It's just
is quite
YOLOing.
literally all alone on the one line here on the edge of the map. This is it. It's like it's his last stand over here, right?
Ah.
And they've pulled the Delny, they've pulled Ice-T's Delny back towards the B cap. But if I'm TWA, man, if they want to come pick up a cap, I'm going to let them have it. I don't care. Because all it's going to do is, you know, I'm going to win a little slower. Who cares?
Right. Yeah, I feel like ARIS now is just coughing up more boat for not a lot of gain. It just feels odd to see PrayQ doing this.
Yeah, I'm a little like he moved up and now he stopped. I'm like, well, if you're gonna, it feels like if you're gonna go, you should just friggin' go and get it over with. But here we are.
I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to farm out Snackman's Sabir with the secondaries, with the Utrecht,
I
and with
mean,
Dutch Air, but it'll take a
they've got
while.
they've got a long way to go. He's still
Yeah.
got 80, 90 seconds of heal left. So I mean, good luck, as they would say.
Mm-hmm. On the other side of the map,
Yuchu
things are
Shimakaze. Yeah,
Yep.
you see it.
almost got the kill on IKEA.
They're gonna get it. Are they?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, but it's a trade.
It ends up being
It's
a trade,
not what
though.
It's not what you want. You need to get out. You need to not trade there, but he unfortunately did. Trades really favor TWA here. And now they lose their battleship on the one line as well. It's a 3-ship lead, 60 seconds here from TWA qualifying for next weekend.
Yeah, yeah. I don't see a way back in for ARIS. However,
Nah.
I have a strong
this
feeling
is
we'll
over
see.
now.
I have a strong feeling we will see ARIS next weekend, based off
Man,
how they've been playing.
I was gonna say, they keep playing like this. Not only do I think they make it, I want them to because I want to see
Right.
these guys again.
Right? Absolutely. All right, 30 seconds to go.
Pretty much all over but the crying here. ARIS is finally going to get into B, I think, but it's not going to do him any good when it finally happens because there's going to be like 10 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, I think that if I were to title this game, it would be Almost Got Him. Like that old Batman the Animated Series episode.
The old Batman the Animated Series episode. That would be a great title for this game because you quite literally almost got him. But you didn't.
But you didn't.
TWA channels their inner 07 here and reverse sweeps their way into next weekend's playoff bracket with a 2-1 win over ARIS.
Wow. All right. So
That was a hell of a match, Zath.
that was a hell of a match. I'm going to put this screen up because now, guess what? We get to go and find our match and
Yeah, baby.
program everything in and all that good stuff.
Indeed. Indeed we do. Chat's about to see the beautiful Sabir salvo.
Oh, my goodness.
That was friggin' wild, man.
Right.
All right, let's get over there quickly.
Let's see, it's
We
Pucky
probably
versus...
have time to catch him before game 2.
They're out of...
Pucky
Yeah,
versus...
3XA.
Okay. All right, so let's get this plugged in here. We are on Group B, round 4. Got it. We don't even have a result for game 1. 3XA, there we go. You put it in for me. You asked. Brilliant. All right, reset, reset, reset. So this is... Give us just a minute, guys. We're getting all our little fancy overlay tools updated. We will be right back with you in just a moment.
So I counted this last weekend. There are 27 different things that we have to program into our little helper program. 27.
After these messages, we'll be right back. This is the first time I've seen someone ban Sabir, Zath, but I think I like the pick. Like, that's become a very popular ship.
Yeah. I still don't
Did you
feel like
see-
it's as good as people think it is, but whatever.
Okay. Did you see teams banning that last weekend at all?
No.
Okay, 3XA1 game 1 we said, so I need to set that up.
I'm all programmed in now. Go.
There we go. Okay. We are ready for game 2, yeah.
Yeah. Now, 3XA, let's see, so 3XA, where? That's NA's number 5 team, and Pucky is China's number 5 team. That's gonna be
Okay,
fun.
a battle of the 5 seeds. This will be fun.
It's the battle of the 5s, baby.
Battle of the 5 seeds.
1 5 will move on, the other will not.
Oh, we need to pick maps. We need to pick matches here. We were kind of waiting to see how things shook out.
Yeah,
Take a quick peek.
I think we just hold
'Cause
for
we're-
now.
Well, I'm going to see. It's going to be a whole bunch of 2-2 teams.
Yep.
So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2-2 teams in Group A. I feel like I want to see Virtus.
Okay.
Because they must have lost against Inca. Because they're 2-2. So whatever match Virtus ends up playing, I'm gonna sign us up for that. I'll keep an eye on that. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, perfect. Just to keep
Virtus-
you guys in the loop of what's happening. Go ahead.
Yeah, Virtus is the game we could have audible to since we knew there were a lot of people covering the TWA game, but I'm kind of glad
Yep.
we stuck with that because, wow.
That was a great match.
Yeah.
Match. So when it comes to the next round, guys, the next round of games that we're looking ahead to after the round we're about to show you, there are 3 games in each round. Each of them is a play-it-in situation. So all of those matches really matter. Somebody's moving on and somebody's going home. So it doesn't matter which one we pick, they'll all be full of drama. But
Yes.
we're trying to pick out a team. I want to pick out a team that I haven't seen yet. So that's why I'm looking at that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, we got game 2 here, and this is our standard spawn.
It is indeed. Let me come to here to do this. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're right back to Northern Waters. This is game 2 of this match between Pucky and 3XA. 3XA looking to qualify for next weekend's playoff bracket. They are the North American 5 seed. Pucky, the Chinese 5 seed. Zath, talk me through the Pucky lineup here in green.
Very interesting lineup. Willem de Rest, for example. Makes sense, I suppose, on this map. A lot of abilities to use the Dutch oven. That's going to be Jinan. And then we've got Zifayu in a Vermont. Oh, I'm so excited to see this with unique upgrade and close quarters expert. So basically, can we reload the guns any faster? Yes. I
No, he doesn't
really
have
like that idea.
Doesn't have close quarters, does he?
Yeah,
Is that what that is? Oh, yeah. I got you. Okay, I see it now.
So if something's in secondary range, he gets a magic buff to his main battery reload. We got Link Tai's San Martin working its way towards the A cap as well. We've got Zhao Bao's Moskva with unique upgrade, and Nana's Des Moines with unique upgrade, heading towards the BC side of things. And they're about to high five Man in a Trump. This is the first time I think I've seen a Trump this entire tournament. Wild. Heading towards the C-Cap are 3 destroyers. We got Linha's Delny, traditional kind of build there. We got Bear's Ragnar, nothing special there. And then finally, Linhao's Harugumo with the full 420 Blazed build. So I wonder if they're going to try doing something where the Gumo smokes up the Delny and the Ragnar, and they just murderize whatever they can.
Well, we're going to have some early action here because Puffytail's Daring sniffs out the Delny already, having to turn hard to starboard to avoid stumbling into his detection bubble.
Yeah.
Puffytail's Smolland off to his right. He's got some dazzle going on, and they've got a 420 Blazed Harugumo of their own. That's Skamomo here, already into the decap, putting shells downrange on Linha. They're backed up farther to the east by Backfire's Des Moines, who's not quite in range of this engagement just yet. Just a little further to his west, that would be Shipness's Moskva, unique upgrade and top grade gunner. They've sent a 4-ship element over to A now. Starboy's Delny, having slammed his way through the middle of the map, looks like he's going to head between Thor's twins here and go right into the A cap. He's backed up just off to his port side behind Starlight's Castilla. A little surprising. We don't usually see Castilla in these events. And then both battleships still lurking around the A cap. Just for fun's Bungo, and just off to his port side, that's Pastor K's Kremlin.
I say going very cautious at A. They don't want to commit to it until Starboy's Delny gets in there.
Well, the Delny's there now, and there's nothing in range for Pucky to contest him. I'm really surprised to see Zifi's Vermont kind of a hanging mid-Zath with that build. A more traditional Vermont build, I would understand. But that Vermont build feels odd to me. Ooh, big damage going in on Bear's Ragnar early on.
Yes, on the other side, we do still see that trading going on between the Daring and the Ragnar. Here come torpedoes on the Trump. Is he going to take torpedoes? I think he might if he slows down. He's turning and slowing. Oh, that was close.
Nice ship handling from Man. The Delny kind of expecting somebody to be there and almost getting lucky.
Yep. So you have the Delny versus the Trump. I got to think about detections here. Trump is 5.9. Delny is 7.4. So Man could actually push Starboy
just push him right out. Just push him right out. But the thing about Trump, and here's the fun thing, I suppose, if they want to shove one of these battleships into that cap up against this island, right? We were talking about this earlier. They could, shove one in on the south side and just camp him there. The Trump might eventually be able to farm him out with the airdrops, but Trump's torpedo power is honestly pathetic. So there is no chance of, storming him with a torpedo charge or something. Pucky's Vermont taking an early shot at Just for Fun's Bungo there, coming up empty with the entire thing.
Yeah, we've seen Vermonts in this tournament, but I want to highlight the unique upgrade for a sec. That gives a 10% buff to reload at the cost of concealment. Also the anti-air, but that's not as important as it is in, say, randoms or ranked.
Nah, not a big deal here. They're trying to farm out Shipness's Moskva. Puffytail heads over there with some Daring smoke to give him a bit of a breather. But if I'm Shipness, I'm more concerned about this Vermont's position now.
Yeah.
Zife has moved up specifically to take these shots, I think.
Yeah, he's continuing to take shots into these guys. They're backing off. They're trying to find some sort of cover, but you know, Xiao Bao's got his Moscow radar up, so good luck with that.
Yeah, Xiao Bao's got him lit so his team can try to keep farming him. If I'm Shipness, what I probably end up having to do is once I go dark, once the radar expires in a moment, I go hard to port and try to get to the other side of this island now that the Vermont is where he is. The Vermont is landing shells on the Daring.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, he's not even shooting at the Daring. He just happens to be close aboard, and, well, there's some shells.
Yeah, well, I guess they're a little bit too tight formation right now.
Puffy's spending another one of these quick British smokes. This is one of the best use of British smokes that I've seen in team play. Just giving Shipness this little bit of a breather to make this turn to get to the other side of the island. Now that the Vermont has chosen the 7 line as his home, the Moskva can't afford to stay there.
No.
In the meanwhile, Pucky's setting up a push over at Azath. Check this out.
Yeah, I see that. They've managed to get the Delny out. They know it's probably the Tromp there, and they don't have the concealment advantage. They're going to be forced off the cap.
This feels like, I mean, this is a flank where it's even numbers, right? Like, it's just a 3v3, but the superior detection of the Tromp is allowing Pucky to make this push, I think. They're coughing up a ton of battleship health in exchange for it, but it's a battleship. That's what it's there for.
You know, and that kind of harkens back to, I guess you could say, the more traditional warships experience, right? Where concealment was king.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Way over on the side of the map. Linha's in trouble.
Trying to outrun the torps. He does. Wow.
Wow. Talk about crazy desync. The stern fire, though, is a problem. He's still got shells coming in.
He's
going
gone.
to burn out, Zath.
Yep,
there he goes.
But the Des Moines has shells coming in now. Vermont shells, here it comes. Up the stern, look at that white bar. Not enough.
And they can still see him in there. I'm not sure how. He's going to burn out, and there he goes.
Very important trade for Pucky.
Yeah, a big trade over on the extreme eastern flank of the map. And the Vermont, Zife, now that he's chosen a flank, absolutely making his presence felt.
Yeah, now he's like, I'm going to play here now. Patch. Jeez.
Hits the bungo decently hard for about 10 or 12K there.
Yeah. Now, you notice that Pucky is not continuing their push south. They've grabbed the A-cap, and that they've got that powerful position on that island.
Yep, they're settling in.
Yeah.
They're like just setting up shop, pitching a tent. Zath, check out B. What are we seeing? We're watching a Vermont capping.
We're watching brick, smash, and cap at the same time.
This is like...
Look at that smash.
Salvo on the bungo. Brick smash, but man, I've never seen a team slam a Vermont into a cap and be like, what are you going to do about it?
This is great.
What are you going to do about it? How do you plan on telling me no? I am brick. Hear me roar.
Right?
I love everything I'm watching right now just because it's hilarious.
What I find really interesting, though, is that there we go. Puffy not trying to use his torpedoes. Now he finally got him off.
Yeah, I was a little surprised. I think maybe they were reloading or something. I'm not sure. But man, and Brick is not slowing down either, is he? He's just like, I'm going to drive right through this cap. I'm going to laugh at you trying to do something about it.
Yep. And, you know, traditionally when the battleship shoves a cap like this, the opposing destroyers go and find torpedo angles. But they just aren't coming up. And look at Starboy, Delny versus Tromp now. Oh, Starboy beached. He's reversing.
Yeah. Pretty sure the Delny's going to lose this engagement here. Tromp does get a few on the bow, but to be honest, his guns are going to win that fight. Moskva's going to seal the deal. It's a one-ship lead now for Pucky.
Wow.
More single-fire torpedoes coming in on this to Vermont's bow. He can't dodge these, I don't think. He's going to take at least one. How quick can he get the bow around? Just the one.
Yeah, he'll be fine. The big thing is Xiaobao behind him in the Moss was able to cap because everybody's focusing so hard on this Vermont.
And even better, Zath, check out the decap.
Yeah, I've just looked over there.
The 420 Blaze It team is driving in. They're basically just pushing 3XA off of everything just out of pure aggression.
Love it.
Now, they're going to lose this Vermont, but by the time that they do, they're going to own the entire bloody board.
Well, yes, but 3XA not sitting calmly here. You can see the Kremlin and Castilla pushing up to A cap. I think the big question is Shipness's Moskva. How can they keep it alive in his position?
It's going to be a challenge. You have to believe the Willem de Eerst is looking for this shot over here.
Exactly.
Right now, Shipness isn't lit.
That's the problem. He manages to get around.
They've got no eyes on him, and the torpedo salvo coming in for Zhao. He's going to use the Vermont as cover.
Let's go.
Look at this. He does take one in the bow, but a torpedo salvo that would have otherwise killed him, he just shrugs off while it runs into the hull of his dead teammate.
Love it, love it, love it. The Vermont was get down, Mr. President. He just didn't know it.
And yeah, he in death, his rotting corpse. And Shipness is going to get farmed out.
Yeah.
In exchange.
Wow. Just brilliant watching that Vermont, that whole thing with the Vermont push, and trying to find a way to make things work out for him. At 3XA going into the A cap, but what's the matter now?
Yeah, you know, Zath, I feel like you kind of called it early, right? We were looking at this Vermont build going, what's the deal? And the deal is they essentially look around, find a pressure point, shove the Vermont in somebody's face to say, well, I'm coming, and I'm coming with quicker reload on my 18-inch guns. What's your plan, guys? And if you don't have a plan, you end up where 3XA is right now.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, this is over. Like you're 60 seconds from a Pucky win. 3XA is nowhere near a cap circle to do anything about it, and they can't spot anything else to kill it.
I just love how you said Pucky win. It just sounds funny.
That's what it is.
3XA opening their guns up right now.
Okay.
I think they want to just see if they can bait out the shots, and they have.
They have, but the Harugamo smoke is available again, which means that in a moment, Nanas Des Moines is going to just disappear like the invisible man, and Just for Fun's Bungo is going to have nothing to shoot at.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't put the plane up and shoot earlier. It's going to miss. That was like literally their last chance at winning this game.
Yep. That salvo was it. And I think, was this a legendary Des Moines?
Yeah, it should be a unique upgrade, Des Moines. Yep.
Yeah, I saw him accelerate and went, that has to be a unique upgrade. And yeah, it absolutely is. Now, Bear's getting a little cheeky here. I don't think I would take this risk with 3 seconds left in the game.
He's just getting me a double death pick. I appreciate this.
It works out in the end, but that was a bit of a risk. Goodness gracious. Well, Pucky with a decisive win here in game number 2 means, Zaf, it's time for game number 3.
Let's go.
Well,
all right.
I'm kind of sad we missed game 1 now. Holy crap.
I know,
what
right?
did I just watch.
Oof. Unfortunately, I need to run to the bathroom for a moment, so if you wouldn't mind taking over for me, I'm going to run a commercial break.
Go. Go. Yeah, I got to do that too.
I'm going to get a code giveaway going too on my channel, because might as well. Resin just lost 2-0 apparently. Oof.
What? Oh, well, okay, so that was the China #1 versus NA #1 So that should have been a tough match, and apparently it was.
It was.
Apparently it was. So Resin, with their backs to the wall, will look to catch them up. There's the Virtus match. I'm going to sign us up for that one.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm getting my notes updated just to make sure that I've got everything scribbled down correctly. So when I go to work on YouTube clips later, I know exactly what got played in what order and what we covered and all that jazz, because this just makes my life a little easier to have handwritten notes rather than try to recreate the day from memory, because that'll never work. My memory is a steel sieve. Okay. This was Pucky's win. And then just because it doesn't really matter, yeah, they spawned here. Okay. All right, let's get back to here. Yeah, so just because you guys see me do this all the time, right? I lean down, I look down on the arm of my chair here as I'm scribbling through my notes. This is this notebook. This was a gift, right? When we went to St. Petersburg in 2019 for my very first Community Contributors Summit, they gave us these beautiful notebooks, and they're just simple, simple graph pages. But since then, I have notes on every tournament I have cast, all the way back to, let's see, this looks like this would be probably King of the Sea 9, if I'm interpreting this correctly. Ordinarily, I write headers that remind me of these things. But yeah, I'm looking at 07, and yeah, this is King of the Sea 9. 100% King of the Sea 9 now that I look at it. Yeah, that's what this is. So every King of the Sea, the Verizon tournament we did a few years ago, Warship Masters. Here's King of the Sea 16 from a few years ago. Back during COVID, right? I produced all the King of the Sea streams from this chair here on NA because the NA office was closed and they couldn't do it. So Zath and I just took care of it for them. Yeah, it's been a long history and a lot of games. Goodness. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. It's early in the morning here on a Sunday. Oh my God, it's Sunday. Appreciate y'all being here. We're going to have a good time. We've got at least 2 more matches after this one. Our next match, in fact, I can update this real quick. Let me go do that in studio mode. Is going to be, I just signed us up for it. It's going to be E-Rare and Virtus is going to be our next match. Virtus is the North America number 3 seed. We were talking about them at the top of the stream. So I have not seen them play. Zath saw some of them last weekend. I'm really curious to see what they look like. So VRTUS. There we go. Okay, so our schedule then, let me come back. There we go. This button. There we go. So there's our schedule. So we're in the middle of Pucky and 3XA. We're about to bring you game 3. E-Rare and Virtus will begin at the top of the hour in about 33-ish minutes or so. And then we're waiting to see how this round finishes before we pick up our last match of the day. From here on out, once this match concludes, I said this a minute ago, these last 2 matches are playing in. It's do or die for every team on the screen. So that's going to be really entertaining.
Right. So you were talking about Virtus. So they were in the winners bracket final, got knocked down into the losers bracket, were defeated by Resin in the losers bracket final.
Yep.
Part of that was because in game 2, Raptor, they brought a banned ship and they had to forfeit game 2. They had to forfeit game 2. But you know what was really fun about that? Put and I were laughing the whole time because both teams said, well, let's just shove in the middle and see who survives. And that's what they did.
Okay.
They just had a whole team deathmatch in the middle of the map.
The game result didn't matter, so they just went in and murdered each other.
Bingo.
That's actually kind of funny.
it was so fun to watch and so refreshing to see both teams just saying, you know what, we're just going to put on a show for the casters anyway. And then they just went and did it, except for one player that didn't get the memo, and he was like hiding behind a rock. They're like, come on.
Too funny. Too funny.
Yeah, so that's it's a lot of fun.
All right, I'm going to step away real fast
Go
and
for it,
refill
go
my
for it.
water before this game begins. I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
Yeah. One of the things about Raptor and I is, as you can tell, we are a bit of a tag team here. So, we kind of know each other's mannerisms, and we kind of tell when each of us needs a break. We do the best we can to get you guys as many games as possible, which means we're very aggressive with our timings. Okay, we were told don't pick matches within 45 minutes of each other. We said screw it, we're doing it. And that led us to grabbing the second game just now, for example. And then earlier getting the that other match that we had. I can't even remember because I don't have my notebook with me to write all this stuff down. It is what it is. My watch is reminding me that King of the Sea starts today. Thank you, calendar. Appreciate you guys. Jeez. But yeah, so plenty of warships left. But hey, again, double check your drops. Make sure you're getting your progress. I think I got mine now. I am now eligible. Let's go. Okay.
My chat says they threw a brick and smashed through everything.
They really did. They really did. Mine
They
was
really did.
when mine was watching, they called it, what did they call it? God, I gotta scroll back up and find it. The Leroy Jenkins play. Vermont doing a Leroy Jenkins play.
Leroy! I love it. I love it. Oh, too bloody funny. All right. Let's see. Are we all here? We all here? We're all here. We're not quite ready, but I'm sure we'll be underway shortly. This one should use the reverse spawn for Land of Fire.
Perfect. Teams are being told 5 minutes. Pucky says, "Okay, we're good. We're good.
Pucky's like, I don't know what you're waiting on. You don't need me.
That's right.
I'm done.
So
we donezo, baby.
2 minutes left before 3XA forfeit. So 2 minutes. 3XA needs to get their 9th and final player in and ready in 2 minutes.
Well, he was just here and then he left, so I don't know what to tell you.
So when we see players, I mentioned this before last weekend, when we see players leave the training room and then come back, they're typically double checking a build for a ship, or they're completely building out a ship that they weren't planning on playing. If it's the second option, that's a scary consideration, right? Because that means maybe a player wasn't able to make it to play the ship they were assigned, or they're just throwing a totally different strat in, which can be, fun and scary at the same time.
Ooh,
all right, let's go.
This is gonna be interesting.
That's right. This is our game 3 of Pucky and 3XA. Again, the number 5 for NA and the number 5 for China. This is our best of 3, so it's it for them. Yes, go ahead.
In the battle of the 5 seeds, only one can emerge supreme, Zath. Let's find out who it is. Here we go. Rubber game of the match. 3XA spawning in green on the top end of Land of Fire, bringing Puffytail's Grozavoy. Unique upgrade Grozavoy.
Yeah.
Link's Smolland here. A little bit of gun range and gun reload. Fluffytail's Yu Yang. Radar Yang, of course. Full torpedo build. All the torpedo skills. A 4 cruiser lineup, starting here with Fixer's Stalingrad, going for range and top grade gunner. Backfire's Stalingrad with range but no top grade gunner, maximizing his 3-point skills there, going for AP, harder hitting AP instead. Starboy's Cerberus, again, top grade gunner and stealth. And a PVO here, that's Skamomo, typical PVO type stuff with the airstrike abilities. 2 battleships, of course. Willem de Eers, that's Pasterk. And a Kremlin for just for fun. Pucky trying to deny them their chance at glory. What do they got in red to the south, Saf?
I'm so glad that you went ahead and took the 3XA lineup, because how cool is this that Pucky is bringing a La Pampa? we haven't seen a La Pampa. I think maybe Hood and I saw one last week in total. And so we got a La Pampa, that's Lin Hao, and Ling Tai and a San Martin. So basically, Pan America just over here. So that's kind of cool. We got Linha's Moskva now with unique upgrade going to the traditional Moskva Island. We got Zenon's Bungo going continuing to work his way through the mid. On the other flank is Nana's Attilo Oregolo, which just feels odd, but okay, I'll allow it. Behind them is Xiao Bao's Moscow with the unique upgrade. He's going very wide, and that's on purpose because he needs to turn in to get to the Moscow Island, and he does not want to risk being spotted broadside in doing so. We've got Manon's Utrecht working his way towards possibly the Fidget Spinner Island, ultimately. Pucky Bear in the Ragnar taking his time to get to wherever it is he's going. And then Sive Yu in a Cecilia. Uh-huh. Okay, well, we saw Cecilia used yesterday to great effect in one of the battles. Let's see what happens this time.
So, going for a 2-2-5 split here is Pucky, right? La Pampa San Martin, Masvabungo, and then 5 ships playing the CD flank. 3XA going for something a little more traditional, a 3-3-3 split. I've got Yang, Stalingrad, and Willem, Kremlin, PVO, and Grozovoy, and then Stalingrad, Cerberus, and Smolensk over here at CD. The Utrecht seems like an odd pick to go all the way to the 10 line, Zath. Traditionally, you see a torpedo-armed cruiser making that kind of a push.
Yeah, and it's possible he's not going to go all the way up there, but, you know, I do kind of like it because so often, I mean, we've seen cruisers get stuck, right, in that center part of that fidget spinner and have nothing to shoot at or not be able to do any sort of input in the game. And Utrecht, you know, call forth bombs from the heavens, hallelujah, on whatever they want.
Just so everybody knows, Zat's talking about this particular island here on the right-hand flank on the 10 line.
Yeah.
It's sort of shaped like a fidget spinner, so we commonly refer to it as in such a fashion.
Right. And I'll tell you what, it spins them up. When we get 2 ships on either side of it, the island really messes with them. And we see a lot of crazy plays.
An early radar here from Linhas Moskva susses out Puffytail's Grozovoy and Skamomo's PVO. Keeps them off the cap for a little bit, but once the radar expires, I'm sure Puffy will tuck back in there. On the other flank...
Yep.
I just realized I've got Fluffy Tail and Puffy Tail. Jeez, look at all those torpedoes. Boy, I hope Fluffy's ready for his fun torpedo dodging mini game.
Let's take a look at him. That is the power of La Pampa here.
Turn the other way. Turn the other way.
Oh,
right under the screws. Right under the screws. He got lucky there. He does pick up A. So early cap advantage that had gone to the Regolo over at D. Now slowly will shift the other way. And look where Nana's Regolo is,
I know.
Saf.
I know. I was watching him and fixing to talk about that, but then we had the whole torpedo dodging minigame. I love how deep Nana is right now. He's actually catching Starboy Cerberus through the smoke fire penalty. That was wild. So Starboy can't shoot anymore. He shot for a moment, got detected. Unfortunately, this little island blocked line of sight long enough so he's not detected again. And that told him, hey, somebody's really freaking close to me right now. And look at the Smolensk trying to suss it out.
Let's say Link is in trouble now. Pucky caught him on the surface and then radars him. So now here come the shells. It's going to be a EU destroyer slap fight, but the Ragnar's 6-inchers versus Smolensk's 120 millimeters doesn't feel like a fair fight for the Smolensk. And the Regolo is going to chip in here as well with his SAP. Link is in trouble.
I like how you did one in metric and one in imperial. Good job there.
You're welcome. I'm an engineer. I have to speak both.
So that's for those who don't speak both. That's 152 millimeter compared to 120.
120.
Yeah,
Smolensk's guns are 120s.
Yep.
Link sneaks away on 275 HP. One more shell's coming in. Oh
no!
He does manage it as Pucky Bear dives the cap in his Ragnar. So an early 50-ish point lead for 3XA is going to hold up there, as it's going to go back to 2 caps apiece for a spell. They do get some damage into Nana's Regolo along the way as well. That's about 10k or so that they can't get back, because Regolo, for all his other sins, doesn't have a heal.
Right. Well, I think we're going to see things settle on this cap for quite some time as Pucky gets in position to take advantage, push through, whatever they want to do. So I think
Yeah.
we're going to take a look at the other flank and see what's going on.
So now I'm curious, Saf, because I wonder if we're going to find ourselves in a situation that I see in randoms all the time, right? I've got 4, 5, right? 5 3XA, sorry, this is Pucky. 5 Pucky ships over here on the eastern side of the map, and there are 4 compatriots down here lurking south of A and B. So these guys over on the right want to try and push through to help their buddies. But they've got this giant wall of islands they have to cross through, which makes their lines of advance very predictable, right? And in random play, that never works out well because your opponent knows where to find you, knows where you're going to be, knows where to look.
So what you said you had a question in there?
It's just more. My question is, how are they going to pull this off? Like you obviously want to move back to the west now. How do you do it? How do you do it successfully?
First thing you have to do is you have to take out this Cerberus Smallland combo up to the north, and you can see the Smallland is radaring. Starboy is shooting. They're not going to get much out of it. But I feel like the first step is to take 3XA's complete presence on this flank and get him out.
They're going to struggle with that because what they really need is for the Cecilia to dunk the Cerberus. But the Cecilia's got his own problems.
Well, the Cecilia, you know, I think he'll be okay. It's just a question of, like, I doubt they even know that the Grozovoy exists in that location right now. So
well,
he'll find out soon.
Here comes a salvo. A little.
A little
Nothing
bit.
Terribly exciting.
Utrecht, though, with its Dutch oven lands.
Yeah, the Cerberus is under a lot of pressure now. He's going to smoke here. I mean, he's down to 5K, about 8K more shells coming in, and he's 45 seconds from a heal, so he desperately needs to break contact. They can't see him, but they're continuing to vomit shells in there.
Oh, yeah.
They know how low he is.
This is what we call French radar.
He's dead now.
Use high reload guns. Just keep shooting at whatever the explosion is. You've got 3 high reload, high DPM boats, so luck.
Yep. Opening kill going to Pucky here in game 3.
9 minutes in for that first kill, by the way.
Yep. Plenty of time left on the timer. That flips the lead. They're at about a 35-ish point lead here. Both teams ticking up a couple of caps, so now let's see what happens. Now they're doing a great job of farming out backfire Stalingrad on the 1 line. Look at this.
I was just looking at
maybe.
Yes.
I was gonna say I'm not sure how they got him this low. Did he make a gamer turn and the Bungo caught him? I'm wondering.
The possibility. I'm more interested in the Cecilia Kremlin matchup right now. He went with his smoke in front of the Kremlin in the channel and wasn't punished for his insolence. Now he's trying to finesse this little fight right here.
Oh, good salvo out of the Kremlin. They can't, like,
yeah.
3XA can't afford the trade, but it ends up a trade because the Utrecht bombs.
Yeah, that's
kill a Kremlin?
Yeah.
Kremlin's deck armor should shrug that off. That has to have been superstructure hits.
Well, either way,
definitely. Go ahead.
Backfire is able to save his boat for a little bit longer. It's spotted again. He's got 50 seconds until he can get the heal going. Can Pucky do anything about it? Just the Bungo.
I don't know. 3XA has kind of been herded a bit, guys. Check this out, right? You've kind of got this line of ships. Their control over the middle of the board is very tenuous at best. They still own these caps, but you have to wonder for how long that's gonna hold.
Yeah, we got those destroyers now up on the very top of the map, working with you. Ooh, somebody just smacked the Utrecht. That's got to be the Stalingrad.
Definitely got man smacked there, as we're having a destroyer slap fight between the Smallland and the Grozovoy and the Ragnar. Grozovoy's going to end up on the wrong end of this. He will go down. Ooh, but can they grab the Ragnar? He sneaks. No, he's still alive in there.
He's still alive.
Having a bit of Mr. President moment as the Regulo dives in front of him. They are going to grab the Ragnar. But can the Smollin get away? It seems unlikely. His heel's got a few more seconds. Ragnar should clean him up here in a moment.
Link, just finish it. And there's the kill.
There it is.
Nana's Regulo taking him down, finally dispatching that Smollin from before. Okay, so...
Pampa steps onto A. Now the pressure mounts.
What do you do if you're 3XA now?
Curl open at the fetal position? I mean, I'm not really sure what they can do here, right? They'll never get back into B and C. They've lost everybody at the top of the map. Those ships are at least out of position and out of the fight for a while. So you got that going for you. But you pretty much can't, like, they're able to push Linhouse and La Pampa off the cap for a minute, but it won't last. Stalingrad got another heal off and is coming back, which they desperately need. But this Bungo is still around, man. Zenon's battleship along this flank guarantees that this is going to be a rough matchup for the Stalingrad.
Well,
And
the other
now
one
it looks
goes
like-
down, Fixer.
Yeah, they can't, and that's the thing. They can't afford to lose ships, and they are. We're going to touch tips in B. That's a terrible trade if you're 3XA.
Of course.
And now there's only 35 seconds on the timer, which only gets shorter after La Pampa, after Linhal finishes this cap.
Well, he's not going to finish the cap because he's getting reset.
Yeah,
20
but
seconds.
I just either he finishes the cap or they kill Fluffy Tail. Like, those are your options at this stage.
Pretty much.
Fluffy can't smoke. That's a radar yang. No smoke available. Can't break contact until his detection bloom disappears, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they don't get
There
the
it
kill.
is. Pucky's aggression pays off here. And once again, they win, and we'll see them again next weekend, which I'm excited about. I want to cast these guys again.
Oh, they were fun to watch. Absolutely, yes.
What a blast, Seth. What a blast.
Last
That
indeed.
was the China 5? The China 5?
China 5.
Yeah. These
China
Chinese-
5.
Man, I want to see. I'm put a star by their name. I want to cast one of their matches again. Woo!
All right, well, we have a bit of a break now, right? Until we get to the next one.